This is a big week. To show us what's coming down the pipe, Yahoo Finance reporter Josh Schafer, as always, is setting us up for the week. So what do we got?
Julie. So it's not an overly crowded calendar that I'm standing with today like we have sometimes in earnings season, but it is a pretty big calendar and some potential market-moving events almost every day of the week, starting with that Apple event on Tuesday. So we're expecting Apple to announce the iPhone 15 tomorrow and give further details on maybe some other products. There were rumors maybe there'd be new AirPods. They're also going to talk about that new USB-C charger that's going to come with that iPhone. But again, we've been watching Apple shares relatively under pressure over the last week. We know Apple is a big part of the major indexes. It's in a lot of those ETFs out there. So just a big driver for market action in general for what we see from that event tomorrow. On Wednesday, we're going to shift more to the economic data side with CPI and take a look at inflation and see where inflation is headed. I'm going to dig into that number a little bit more in a second. I want to get to Thursday first. Is that deadline for the Union of Auto Workers with Ford, GM, and Stellantis? Multiple Wall Street analysts out with research today and notes saying they think that this is probably going to result in a strike now starting on Thursday. So keep an eye out on those stocks, Ford, GM, and Stellantis again. Now I want to zoom in on inflation though, because that's the big one, at least for me this week, I think, ahead of that Fed meeting next week. And what we're expecting, so what we're looking at here is CPI and then core CPI. So that excludes food and energy. Core CPI coming in at 4.7% last month. That's expected to come down to about 4.1% on Wednesday's report. But what's expected to go up, interestingly, is this purple line here, which is headline CPI. That is not fully what the Fed is watching, but it's what a lot of Americans are watching, because it's expected to go up from 3.2% in August to 3.6%. Largely driven by gas prices. So it's going to be interesting to see how people sort of digest this CPI report on Wednesday, because we're likely to again see that headline number come up, but the core number come down. So you could say maybe a good thing for the Fed, but at some point you have to think Americans are starting to feel this a little bit if gas and food are still expensive, guys. That still counts when we think about how inflation is impacting the American consumer.
Yes, and it affects perception, most definitely.
Do we have your excitement meter graphic yet?
Brad, no, we don't, but I put it pretty high. I put it pretty high this week.
Out of 10, where are we? So it's like an 8.5, 9?
Oh, I'd say it's like an 8.5. There's a good chance for some good moves this week in an inflation print.
We didn't even talk about football.
And we didn't even talk about football.
We didn't need to.
An 8.5 without even football. Wow.
Well, you know what? The Eagles won. There it is. That's everything you need to know.
So Brad's excitement meter
and Brad knows I'm a
10
Patriots
right
fan.
now.
Bingo. There you go. Wow. Had those Pats too. Josh Schafer, local Patriots fan, joining us here in studio. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.